Hello, welcome to Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. My name is Susie Parker Goins. I'm a channel, an energy healer, past life healer, explorer, guide. My links are in the description box for my website, podcasts, financial support, opportunities, and contact information. So please like, comment, subscribe, favorite, donate, share with your friends, do all the things. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays. Thursdays are going to be on the podcast format. And the best way to get a hold of me is through my email address at susiepgoins@gmail.com. And that way you can contact me for current pricing, availability for phone and online video conferencing appointments. Thanks for your support. So this is week 5 of my 7-week series about the chakras. For 7 Thursdays, I'm talking about the chakras, and then on the Mondays, I upload the meditations relating to it. Got to go to my podcast because I can't do it here on this platform just yet. That's a goal. Let's see what else. So now I'm probably gonna be saying this about 7 times, and I'm gonna give you a summary of the chakras, and then we'll get into the meat of it. There are more than 7 chakras, but chakras are energy vortices that are all over the body, that run throughout the body, and some are even outside of the body. There are more than 7, though. There's more like 108, and that's a significant number in all kinds of disciplines. In general, chakras emanate from the front and the back. The root chakra and the crown chakra go down and up. So in general, let's see, a healthy chakra, they have a nice horn shape, and imbalanced chakras can look energetically as being bent or closed, clogged, and your chakra health can be reflected in your physical health. But today's chakra, this week's chakra, is the throat, or Vishuddha chakra. It's the Sanskrit word meaning pure. So it's located at the base of your throat, like here at that notch. And the graphics I've seen have shown it as emanating only from the front, not the back, but the front, which makes sense because this is about self-expression. Other body parts that are associated with the throat chakra, they include the thyroid and parathyroid, and also those that are used in communication. I feel like I'm going to be pointing everywhere, so get used to it. So there's the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, mouth, teeth, gums, vocal cords, esophagus, larynx. The corresponding point on your hands is at the base of your thumb. I'm going to shift this so I can do it. Is at the base of your thumb, right there. And on your foot is going to be at the base of your toe. Of course, it's going to be on both hands, both feet. It is the center of communication, like truth, self-expression, discernment, creativity. Since the sacral chakra is related to creativity, and if you feel stuck in the creative area, why don't you check both the sacral, which is lower down, and the throat chakra. And of course, that took me down the path of looking more into the connectivity of the chakras. And I found out that when your lower chakras are balanced and aligned, the energy flows up so that you can have better communication skills. So, the root chakra is related to being grounded, standing your ground. Sacral is, I just said, about creativity. The solar plexus is confidence, so you can speak your truth with confidence. And the heart tempers everything with that compassion, so all that energy comes up so you can have meaningful conversations. Cool. Let's see. Its color is blue. The element is sound, so music, poetry, avenues that encourage self-expression. Its tone is H-A-M, hum. So it goes hum, hum. You want to draw out that vowel bit. And its message is, I speak clearly. A healthy throat, or Vishuddha chakra, shows up as, it's bell-shaped, but again, it's in the throat. You're able to express your thoughts, and ideas clearly, confidently, calmly, and mindfully. And it's also the ability to being able to listen, because communication goes both ways. So instead of listening to jab your opponent with some sort of searing barb, you're listening to listen, and then you can respond mindfully. So it's about constructive communication and conscious listening. Physically, a healthy thyroid, relaxed jaw, shoulders, clear hearing, healthy teeth and gums and vocal cords, they're indicators of a throat chakra, but I'm not here to diagnose anything. I am not a doctor, okay? Now, let's move on to the signs of an imbalanced Vishuddha. A weak chakra shows up as indecisiveness. Someone, when you find someone who agrees with everything anybody says, even though it's contradictory. Hearing problems, and not just physically. I've had a couple of clients show up and I told them what they needed to hear, but that's not what they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear something, so there's a throat chakra disconnect there. Another thing is unable to convey ideas clearly, shyness. You shut down when you're faced with confrontation. There's that lump in your throat feeling, and negative thinking or doubt. A blocked chakra can be manifested as a fear of expressing yourself, whether it's individually or in a public setting. Having a weak voice, being barely audible, telling lies, no personal connection, or, that phrase, can't find the words. An overactive chakra, on the other hand, is there is no control over what you say. No editorial filters, offensive or inappropriate comments are made. Another thing is that you're not listening to others. You don't have consideration for other people's thoughts or opinions. Gossiping, speaking over others, can't keep a secret, or telling lies. All right, at this point, I know of a few people who fit that description, but this is not about them. This is about you, and you turn your sights inward to work on you, you are the only one you can change. Now, as I'm writing out the episode, I finally realized that in college I had this friend, Doug, and one day he was wearing this blue scarf on his throat, and I asked him what was going on, and he said he had a sore throat, and that's where his throat chakra was. So he wore it, and of course I thought he was nuts at the time, but here I am. So blue is a great color for the chakra, and I just jumped ahead right into the balancing part. Wear blue around your throat if it's feeling strained. What other things you can do? You can use sound. So, hum, that's a great sound. Sing, oh for gosh, for crying out loud, sing, whether it's rocking out in the car or doing opera or saying poetry, saying these things that that evoke an emotion, that help you relieve emotion. Use sound. Along with that, you've got affirmations. Affirmations, you can say them in the mirror and then repeat themselves, say them out loud. Important affirmations like, I have the right to speak my truth. I am open and clear and honest in my communications. I listen with respect and mindfulness. I express my authentic self with ease and authenticity and creativity. I express gratitude easily, and I honor my inner voice. Affirmations. You can also do a meditation using sound. There are lots of them on YouTube. That's where I got that tone. And there are also some that are called binaural meditations, and you have to wear earbuds for them, but it's a sound that travels from side to side, from left to right, and it's supposed to connect things. The frequency for the throat chakra is 384 hertz. You can find them on YouTube, of course. So now we move on to the physical, which are the yoga poses. I'm still not a yogi, and I am still encouraging you to find a yoga instructor in your area who is happy to guide you on this journey. Okay, so first off, the cat-cow pose, and that's when you get into what they call the table position. So your hands and knees are on the floor, your back is flat, and then, of course, using breath appropriately, you release your back. You let your back arch so that your belly is hanging closer to the ground. And then when you breathe, you pull in your stomach into your navel pulls into your back, and so your back arches up to the ceiling. And so you do this several times with breath. Next is a camel pose. That's when you're on your knees and your body is stacked over the knees, and then you lean back and your hands slide down your legs so that your hands are holding onto your ankles. And then using the breath and using your core muscles, you pull yourself up. It's in that position where your neck is extended. See, I'm not a yoga instructor. And finally, for the asanas, is the cobra pose, and that's one where you're laying face down on the floor, your hands are underneath your shoulders, your feet, the tops of your feet are connecting with the floor, so it's not toes curled up, but it's your feet on the floor, and then you push up with your hands, and it helps to lift up your chest and shoulders, and your neck extends up, and then you press through your feet so that your hips and your thighs come up off the ground. That's a nice stretch, and then using breath you release. Now the mudra, which is the hand position, is quite nice. It's at your stomach level, but I'm not putting that in the picture. So you interlace your fingers so that they are on the inside like that. And then you touch your thumbs together gently. They're not straight like that, but you're going to have them steeple just a little bit. And then that's when you can go into meditation or using tones or affirmations, meditations, whatever you need to do. Moving on to essential oils for the throat chakra, there's blue cypress. It's one that blends with other oils. It blends strength, clarity, and authenticity when you use it. Geranium is a calming essential oil. It helps you get centered, so it also provides stability and compassion, speaking from the heart. Lavender is just one of those great all-around essential oils. It's very calming. Now, there are different kinds of varieties of lavender oil. There's like 40-20 and lavandula and high altitude. I'm trying to harken back to my days working with an herbalist, and so high altitude. So take a stab at, take a shot. Oh, those are also violent. So try smelling them, sniff them, and see which scent resonates with you. Next up is the chamomiles. There's Roman and German. I think they're kind of pricey, but it's still a very soothing and calming EO. I mean, haven't you ever had chamomile tea? I'll talk about that in a minute. And then basil is mentally activating, so it gets your brain going. It's very energizing and clarifying and helps you to prepare for difficult situations. Use a diffuser or mix some up for a personalized blend in a carrier oil. Talk to your neighborhood experienced essential oil person, and please, again, I beg you, do not drink these. Okay, but what you can do are eat some of the foods we're going to talk about. Yeah, blue foods. And granted, there's not a lot of those around, and I'm not talking about that blue flavoring that they call raspberry. Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking when they thought blue and raspberry was a good combo. Anyway, blue foods include blueberries and blackberries, which really are pretty blue. There's dragon fruit, and I usually find that at my grocery store during Chinese New Year's. I'm sure there are Asian groceries around that you can figure out when the season of the dragon fruit is. Herbal teas, like I just mentioned, the chamomile is very calming, but it makes sense because the warmth and the calming, the soothing that can happen on your throat when you swallow them. There are some herbs that are specifically for either respiratory stuff or lungs. Mullein is one of those. And then there's also slippery elm, which I have drunk when I've had a sore throat. Let's see what else. Oh, mushrooms and barley, which sounds like a really good soup coming down the pike, and kelp. Now, I've also read that fruits that grow on trees are healing for the throat chakra. I haven't been able to connect the dots as to why, but I love my apples, so I'll do that. So that's also what, peaches and pears. I wonder if cherries would count. They hang from a tree. So now we're moving on to crystals, and just thinking about these crystals, they're very calming to me. They're all blue crystals. Yeah, I'm looking at my list. Yep, they're blue. There's blue lace agate. It's very balancing and grounding, and it helps you with connecting and communicating with your higher self. Angelite is a lovely soft blue stone. Its name tells you about its connection to the angels, and it helps you communicate with compassion and love. Aquamarine, it connects you with your inner strength as you face challenges. It stimulates and activates the throat chakra. Blue apatite, Apatite, because I didn't pronounce that spelling like that, so that's for everybody. It helps you with clarity and clear thinking, like, thinking outside of the box. Lapis lazuli. This is one of my favorite colors of blue. It's been found in jewelry at excavations of ancient Egyptian sites, and then it was ground up to be ultramarine as a pigment in the medieval times for paintings. So all of those Mother Marys that you saw from those medieval paintings, probably ground up lapis. But it's about clarity of mind. It's open, and it also helps to enhances open and honest communication. I use it a lot in my own practice. Cool. Sodalite. It's a blue and white stone, and it carries wisdom, clarity of thought, creativity, equilibrium, meditation, connection with intuition. And then finally, but we're not limited to only these, but these are the ones that kept showing up, turquoise. And it helps strengthen your communication with those around you, whether it's just a personal relationship or, like friends or partners. And you use the crystals in whichever way that resonates with you, whether you meditate with them or wear them as jewelry or just carry them around with you. Okay, now is the time for us to open our throat chakras, to clear them out, to pull in all of those resources we get from the lower chakras so that we can speak clearly and compassionately and authentically about what is right and good. I understand that any time is a good time to learn to stand up for yourself and others, but this is truly important at the time I'm recording this. An open and balanced throat chakra, it gives you the strength, the compassion, and that authenticity and confidence to speak your truth, to speak the divine truth. So, until next time, blessings.